it's show 494. So do your countdown. Go into it.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to episode 494 of the MailRight podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, it is sad to say that there will be no 495. This is officially and unequivocally our last show together. I shall be doing another show that I will be doing myself, probably coming out in the next couple of weeks. It will be called The Real Estate Revolution, and it will be focused on the things that are changing rapidly inside the real estate industry as it relates to marketing and technology in general. So, John, as your final swan song, what do you want to say to our audience?
Well, it's been a good ride. Thanks, Robert. I think we've covered some good stuff. I think we've given some good advice. And I think we've covered, like I say, some great stuff.
So do I. We have a banger, 2 bangers. So our originally scheduled show for the day was AI tools, and in his normal organized way, John had gone out and diligently researched a lot of really cool tools. But I got a call from a client, a dear friend and contact, and they asked me this simple question. They said, hey, did you know that Follow Up Boss or Zillow had updated its terms of service? And I said, I saw something come through one of my feeds, something like on Inman or something like that said that. He's like, did you look at it? And I went, no, I didn't look at it. These companies update their TOCs all the time. And he's like, you should. And what specifically he was calling out was the fact that in the latest round of terms and condition updates, Follow Up Boss updated specifically its terms as it relates to, Zillow updated its terms as it relates specifically to Follow Up Boss. And the relation, what they updated was egregiously bad for real estate agents. Just so bad that I had to ask John if he'd be willing to let us preempt the show. And what's more, they did it all it's like 4 or 5 days ago. The changes go into effect on the 15th. The total amount of notice that they gave for this change, ladies and gentlemen, is under 2 weeks. And here's the change. The change is, what Zillow is doing is, hold on a second here. Let me go up here, because I'm going to read it exactly. A key area of change is the handling of data for mutual customers, contracts in your follow-up database who also have a Zillow account. Now that's how it reads. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this data will be processed under the Zillow privacy notice, which generally permits the use of data for Zillow's advertising, marketing, personalization, and analytics, and combining data across Zillow-owned brands. Deeper integration for Zillow Pro, that's the next clause. The updates enable a much deeper integration between Follow Up Boss and Zillow's new suite of products, Zillow Pro, which is designed to enhance the agent workflow and provide real-time consumer insights. This integration allows agents to invite any Follow Up Boss contact to form a My Agent relationship on Zillow. Agents can gain real-time insights in the behavior of their connected clients as they search on Zillow. The framework supports Zillow's AI technology like smart messages and smart summaries using the integrated data. Now, here's obviously a handful of agents who read it already lost their minds, as they should have. So this is what Zillow's response to immediate and widespread concern was. Zillow has stated that agent-only contacts are used solely to provide the CRM services. Now, that's their response. Now, I want to be really clear with you, ladies and gentlemen, and John, anybody who cares. Agent-only contacts means they don't have a Zillow profile. Guess what the number is, everyone, for people that will have a Zillow profile that's part of your database, just averages across the country, because the number is 80%. So what Zillow has said is they're going to take 80% of your database and or roughly there, just in case anybody legal listens to this. I'm not saying that is the definitive number. That's just an average, and it's based on the last data that I saw, which is not a guarantee of absolute proof. I'm just going to say that that number is somewhere in there. It's a window about that big. It's a significant percentage of any database that's being held in a real estate agent's account is now going to be used on Zillow Pro. And they've already said in their first original statement in the update of TOCs that they're going to use customer data to make the experience better on Zillow. That's how that reads. So they're going to take your data and use it with your competitors. Other agents that have memberships or advertising accounts with Zillow now most likely get access to 80% of your database, even though they've said, oh, you don't need to worry if it's just a contact of you and they don't have a Zillow profile. But at the same time, they're also encouraging not only you, but the consumer to create a Zillow profile. It is very fancy legal footwork to say we're finally doing the data grab that guys like me and John have been talking about ever since Zillow bought Follow Up Boss. So now that I've shared what I feel is like a ticking bomb, John, what do you think?
Well, they're always going to do it, weren't they?
Yeah, but they have now. The grenade, the pin has been pulled.
Well, I'm just, how time flies. How long was it since they bought it?
I want to say 2 years.
Blimey. Yeah, I think you're right, but I'm not sure. If that's correct, I'm surprised it's taken them so long, to be truthful about it. I was thinking that they were going to do this a lot earlier.
Almost 2 years to the day.
Right.
November 1st, 2023.
Yeah, it's been, blimey, time goes quick, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's taken them that long. It was always, it's just my personal opinion. So I never believed their statements anyway. You know, it's a bit of a shame because it's a great CRM, isn't it? Follow Up Boss, but yeah.
It is. And while I'm not, there isn't any amount of me that wants to say, it's like there's a lot of sad facts that when you deliver them, people expect you to dance on the grave of your fallen enemies and things like that. And I'm not that guy. I've been saying, and you've been saying, and I've said it on my own channels independently, that the acquisition for the amount of money that they paid, because they wildly overspent for what Follow Up Boss was. They spent $500 million on it, which is the price tag that was needed to acquire platforms from, I think, some founders that hadn't intended to originally sell it. So they overpaid for this acquisition, and there was only one reason that made any sense, which was some kind of use with the information that they were going to get. Now, even I didn't expect that it would be this egregious. I didn't think they'd just simply say, hey, we're going to take the customer data that you have in there.
You were surprised?
I'm surprised by the egregious nature of it. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they're using it. I'm just surprised by, we're just going to take your data and use it with your competitors. I'm surprised they just decided to go full bore, like right in your face. Like, okay, this is what we're doing. Sorry, not really your data anymore, but we're going to give you this one line that's going to make it seem like it might be your data. And it's such a legal dance. It's fancy footwork. If you know the statistics by how many people have Zillow profiles, this is not good at all.
Well, I've got to say, I'm not saying disparaging. I'm not surprised at all, to be truthful. I'm just surprised it took them 2 years to do it, to be truthful. But about them overpaying, well, it's not their money, is it? It's their shareholders' money. Well, I'd imagine they looked at the figures, the bean counters, their accountants, I would imagine, did they get the founders of Follow Up Boss? Was it cash or was it cash and shares?
Let's see
I
here.
don't know about that. I presume it was cash and shares, and then normally you got to be invested for 2 years. Then you don't get all the money up front. You got to work for them for 2 years, and we're coming up to the 2-year mark. I'm only surmising this, folks. I don't know, but normally when you're selling your SaaS to a large competitor or a corporation, they want you to work for them, and it's normally 2 years before you get your full options and you can cash out. And we're coming up to the 2 years, so I think probably the founders of Follow Up Boss are departing, and with their departure, they're taking the opportunity to do what they always planned to do. But I'm only surmising this, Robert.
So here's what, so AI and Google, a couple articles. So they paid cash, which doesn't surprise me.
All right.
The whole deal, the amount of money, the structure of the deal definitely suggests that Follow Up Boss was in the driver's seat. And I would imagine that they were, from what I'd seen and what I'd heard, because if they didn't want to sell and you're getting approached, I would do the same exact thing, John. If you wanted to buy me out, buy inbound REM out, I mean, like based on book value, the company's worth whatever, X amount of dollars, maybe $1 million. I wouldn't sell it for less than 5 or 10. Is it worth 5 or 10? Only if you want me to get out of the segment, then it's worth 5 or 10. If I seem to be harming your business, or you really want access to all my data that I've collected, then absolutely you buy me out for 5 or 10. But you know, other than that, you don't. These numbers and the deal structure, because you're 100% correct. Usually there's going to be shares and some type of tie-in. All that they have here is there was a potential for $100 million bonus in cash based on performance. That's what they got. But it's cash, all cash, the entire deal cash, no shares.
Well, maybe they didn't have to do the investor term. Maybe it was cash and they took the money in. I would imagine they had to stay on for some period of time.
I think that's the performance bit. You're probably not wrong. There's probably, and it's probably a choice. I doubt again, from what I've seen and know of the founders, they probably said, now, if you want to lock us in on a contract, we're probably not going to sign. So Zillow said, well, how about we give you $100 million if you hit these performance metrics? How about $100 million?
$100 million, that is a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Right? So, I
wonder what their tax bill, well, they probably had some special set up. So they're
zero. Probably went straight into a family officer or.
Well, I don't know what because it's an Australian-based company, isn't it? Follow Up Boss. I don't know what the taxation system is in Australia.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say these following things. If you care about your data, if you care about privacy, if you care about somebody competing for you, Zillow's going to grab that data coming on the 15th. That is approximately 9 days from now. So if you care about any of this, you're going to want to look someplace else fast. HubSpot, Realty Juggler. There aren't a lot of really high quality options. Do not lock yourself into a long-term contract with an expensive CRM like Sync or Boomtown or KV Core or Sierra Interactive or any of the other people that are still making you sign 12-year contracts or 12-month contracts for CRM, because the way the industry is changing, if it was me, the advice I'm giving you is the advice I'd take for myself. Too much is happening too fast. I'd want my options to be open without being, number one, obligated to $6,000 for a CRM, like at the higher end, KV Core and companies like that. And number two, I would not want to be pushed into a corner by what is an egregiously short time frame for this kind of aggressive data capture tactic. What do you say, John? You seem like you had something to say.
Well, I'm sure the people that run you up are concerned about it, but I would say about 90%. They don't even know what's going on. They wouldn't even register with them, because I don't know though. Well, they should be concerned, shouldn't they? But
yep, they should be very concerned. The way that I read that agreement is, even if they don't intend to do it in this moment, Zillow has officially updated their terms to say that they can use your data to enrich data in their Zillow Pro advertising campaign program, which means that effectively anybody that's paying them gets access to your data. That may not be you, probably isn't you actually. that means that they're going to take what you've worked so hard to get and profit off it.
Well, it's
That's
the same.
how-
It's the kind of same thing as like Amazon, isn't it? Half the sellers on Amazon are independent retailers, and they sell their products on Amazon, but Amazon competes with them directly.
Yeah.
Uses the data and actively encourages other competitors to compete with you on the Amazon platform, don't they?
They do indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up this subject. Thank you, John, for humoring me and
Yeah.
allowing me to get it onto the last episode of our show. When we come back, we're going to go to break. And when we come back, what we're going to talk about is we're going to discuss on our break which of we originally had 8 tools or 7 tools. We'll narrow it down to 3. And we'll have the best AI lead tools for real estate agent, or the best 3 AI lead tools for agents in 2026. That'll be our final swan song for our collaboration that is otherwise known as the Mail-Right Show. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're excited to bring you this one last bit of valuable information. We'll be right back. Do you want to look at the tools?
Yeah, I've got them in front. Yeah, sure.
No. Which 3?
I don't know.
I didn't research any of these. I don't know.
No. Let's go with Koala AI, NeuroWriter, and let's go with Ryan Humanizer.
The last 3 on the list. That makes it easy. Or right in the middle list. I got it. Koala, NeuroWriter, and Ryan Humanizer. Correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the last Mail-Right Show, 494 episodes in, and we are not going to make 495, but we appreciate all of those that might have been following the show this entire time. There's thousands of you who do. We are still the number 90 show, but no more, obviously, because there will be no more show, but we'll probably maintain that ranking for a little while as all of you catch up on all the amazing episodes that we've done together. If any of you are interested in tuning into something new, you're going to go over to Inbound REM in a couple weeks from now, somewhere towards Thanksgiving. I will be announcing my next project, which will be a podcast, and it will be the Real Estate Revolution is what it's going to be called. And I'll be talking about the segue between old and new, how we used to do business in real estate, and how technology is changing it and what we're doing in the future. I'm still lining up guests and figuring out the rest of the show's aim, but that's its primary mission. So we are going to talk about 3 tools today. 3 AI tools is the closing magic.
I made a mistake. I like to talk to 4. The other one, it's the number 3. That's Magi, because the Magi and Corallo are similar.
Okay, got you. So we're going to talk about 3 tools today. It's going to be Magi is how I'm reading it, NeuroWriter, and Ryan Humanizer. These are 3 AI tools that are designed to help you do leads. And as normal, John has actually done a lot of the research, and I have not. I know none of these tools and very little about them. So John, if you could go ahead and start with what you just said was top on your list, number 3, Magi, and kind of let everybody, including me, know what this tool was.
Yeah, I actually interviewed the founder of this company this morning. He's a personal friend, and it's a great tool. Basically, you've got all the AI models like ChatGPT, you've got Claude. There's about 3 or 4 of them. Well, you buy this product and it gives you access to all those AI language models in one interface at one price. And Darren's he's really built a fantastic business, and he's a great guy. And we had a great interview this morning on my other show, the WP Tonic Show. And it's $20 for solo, and team is $40. And you get very generous quotas with it. I use it, and it's really a great product. So
what does it do? John, you use it. What does it do for you?
Well, if you want to write content, all the type of things that you would do in ChatGPT, it offers you ChatGPT, but it offers you all the other leading language models in one interface. So Claude is better at some things, and ChatGPT is better, and it offers about 5 or 6 of these interfaces or these large language models in one interface. So it saves you a ton of money and effort because it's all in one interface.
Beautiful. All right, so here's how I heard that. This particular tool, in 5 seconds of looking at it on the website, it just actually John's list seems to be less than what they're showing in their demo. So maybe either John's correct and the demo is not, or the demo has been updated and it's got like more like 12 models, all sorts.
Oh, yeah.
DeepSeek, Perplexity, all of them really. So if you're looking to save a little money and experiment with what tool does what the best, this sounds like an amazing option to me. So thanks for bringing it to everyone's attention, John. I think it's fantastic. How about Neuron Writer?
Yeah, maybe can we have a quick chat with Koala?
Oh, Koala, is that? Sorry, did I messed it up?
No, because you did. Well, I wanted to cover 4 because it would be quite quick.
Okay.
Koala. It's similar. It's similar to the other one, but it's the one I use the most because I wouldn't say I bought a lifetime deal, but I bought a lot of credits. It should last me another year. It's one of the, in my opinion, it's one of the best AI writing tools. It's better than Jasper or Copy AI. It's the one I use. It comes with a really nice interface, and it comes with some other options. You like one option, you can write out a brand voice, which I use. I developed a brand voice for all the articles I produce, and you can paste the brand voice into Koala, and it will adapt the article to your brand voice, and it does quite a good job. And it's got some other features like imaging. It can convert videos into a text file. It's got a number of things to it.
That's cool.
I really like it. I use it almost every day. And it starts at 9. The Professional's 49. The Boost is 99. I bought a special deal, and I put like $600-700 into it, which I normally don't do. I normally go to month to month with these type of products because it's changing so quickly. I think Marjo is probably better if you're starting out because it's $20 to $40 a month, and it gives you access to 8 tools. So yeah, they're both in the writing area, but you can use them to generate imaging, everything that a modern language model can do. But Koala is more of a professional writing tool.
Got you. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. There's certainly some cool sounding things inside that tool. So now, if I remember correctly, and I get farther from remembering our initial private conversation every single second that we're talking, Neuron Writer is next up. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is cool. I've been using it for the past couple of years. It's a SEO kind of professional tool. You put in the title of the article you're going to write, and it will then find 10 of the leading websites that are ranking for that particular title, and it will then give you a list of all the keywords that should be in the article, and you can copy those. And then Koala gives you the ability to copy the list into Koala, and it will make sure that the key phrases that Neuron Writer finds will go into the article. You've got to do some editing because it will make the article really long. And I want to point out, I edit all these articles quite extensively because the copy that Koala produces is quite good. But it's more to do with the large learning models that they can be factually incorrect, but normally it's the data is outdated. So you've got to check all the facts and make sure everything's up to date because it's using data that might be 6 to a year old,
Right.
and depending what you're writing. But I bought New and Write on a lifetime deal, and I use this regularly, not every day, but when I'm writing my articles, I use it. I think they're based in Poland, actually. Compared to some of the other SEO tools like Jasper, there's about half a dozen. It's really quite good value because it starts at 23 for bronze, silver's 45, gold 69, and platinum is 93. But using it with something like Koala, you get much better results. And if you're not using one of these tools, experienced SEO copywriter needs a lot of experience to do a really good job.
Agreed. Totally. Being one of our core competencies, it does take a lot of work.
Yeah.
All right. So Rhine Humanizer is last on our list, ladies and gentlemen. I can't wait to hear about this one, John. Go ahead and take it away.
Well, some people like Darren that I interviewed this morning, he said, I don't really need to use Humanizer. I decided to use one. What is a Humanizer? Well, the content that Koala produces, I then manually paste into Ryan. And Ryan, there's about half a dozen of these Humanizers. Some are free, others are paid for. I think Ryan is still seen as the most effective one. And basically you paste your copy in and it then does its magic, and it disguises that you're utilizing a AI writer. And there's other services that you can paste some of the copy in and it will do a AI detection on it. And the Ryan normally passes, not everyone, but the bulk, like Turing, and there's some others that you can do online, it will pass 100% human. And I use it just to make another layer to make sure. And some of these Humanizers really do, they make the copy almost unreadable, but Ryan does a pretty good job. You do have to read it and you do have to do some minor checks, but it's still pretty readable, the content that it produces, and it does pass most of the AI detection.
Well, that's been an incredible list, John. John uses these tools every day. I've stayed away from them. That will not be the case for forever. Both the tools are improving, the world is changing. I still am going to leverage the human factor a lot, but the more I look at it, the more I'm starting to understand where the applications for AI will be relevant inside like every space that we work.
I think the main thing is there's other people, you know, especially in the AI SEO space, that kind of still do, you know, to produce like hundreds of articles per week. I've never used it that way because you do have to read the content and you do have to fact check it. And there's other people that don't bother. They just churn it out. And I tend to add video to it, and I tend to add other stuff to increase the value of the content. But you do, in my opinion, you do need to proofread it, edit it, read it, and fact check it. But if you've got experienced copywriters, you know, there's other platforms, it will still help them increase their productivity, but I wouldn't be happy just let it not check it and just put it on somebody's website, which some people are doing, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show. That's been our last show. Thank you so much for tuning in. John, I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do at the very final little bit. Say your goodbyes. If anybody, I am not going anywhere though, ladies and gentlemen. I'll still produce content for real estate. I'm going to change it up slightly. You can find whatever my next thing is on the inboundrem.com site. Probably look at the bottom. You'll see the last couple notes or couple episodes that we posted from this show down there. And I will see you there if you want to follow me and join me. John, over to you.
Yeah, I'm not giving up on Melrite. It's still up. I've still got about half a dozen clients. I'm just going to have to focus a little bit of time on my other main business, but I've got some ideas for Melrite. And in the new year, I probably will be moving that on. I've got somebody that's interested to help me with that. And we're going to go a slightly different direction with it, which I should have done about 18 months ago, but I've been busy with my other business. But I wish you all the success, Rob. I think it should be a great show. And I think we'll produce some really good content together. It's just that I need to concentrate on my main business for a few months. Yeah.
I understand. Listen, sir, I wish you the wind in your sails and all the success in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I deeply appreciate from maybe me, maybe us, I don't know, but I appreciate every second that you've invested into listening to any advice that I or we have given. I hope that it's helped. I've always hoped that it has helped. I hope that you've gotten some value. Appreciate how much you guys have all elevated this particular show. And I'm always grateful personally. And John, I'm grateful to you. Grateful for you getting me into this in the first place. And I'm grateful for you getting me started on the podcast path and making me understand what the value is.
That's fantastic. We'll see you later, folks. Bye.
Ciao.